Cool, cool. All right, we are live.
Alrighty, hello Online Empire Academy. I'm stoked. I see that there's 38 people here. You guys, I'm excited for today. It's going to be a good one. Tam, thank you for coming. Kent, John, Deborah, you guys, there's a huge list of people. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm stoked for today. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. Rob, Ivy, Becky. Oh my goodness, this list is forever. That's so cool. Come on.
That's awesome.
Well, we are excited to be sharing some awesome information. We had talked previously about Pinterest, and we're starting to see some awesome things happening. And kind of wanted to reiterate some of the points, but also share some of the successes. It's been a super fun journey. Yeah. So if everybody's ready, let's get started.
Yeah, I think we're good, man. Let's
All
do it.
right, let's do it. Okay. So hello everybody. It's good to be here. It's good to be hanging out. We have Dean and Jose. Dean's going to be helping out in the background today. I'm taking over for the first time. This is super exciting, and I'm in what will become my new shop. So I'm excited. It's a new place, a new start, fresh start, and I'm excited to bring you guys some awesome content today. We again, like I said, we shared like 2 months ago. We shared about Pinterest and shared my success about what's happened, and we are so stoked to be able to share with you guys not just the success of it, but how you guys can become successful with it. Um, we had Jose is on with us. What's up, Jose? How you
Hey,
doing, man?
how's it going, Joshua? How's everybody doing?
Dude, it's so good to have you on. So Jose took what we had taught and then kind of Frankensteined it and put it and used it to his own ability and has increased 600% with sales and also with traffic. So super incredible success. He's got a bit of a broader horizon because I was primarily doing it on eBay, and he has both. You have both eBay and Amazon, correct?
Yes, I do have an eBay and Amazon account, but right now I'm just using Pinterest for eBay.
Great. Yeah. So I mean, he's been optimizing these as well as we have. So kind of to give you guys some history of what had happened with me. I had started with me and my dad's account, which we restore vintage Schwinn bicycles, and we were selling about a bike a month, maybe 2 bikes a month, and I mean it kind of gets better in the spring, but we were expecting some increases, but weren't seeing as many sales as we would have desired, and so we just kind of hopped into it, and we optimized our account by using Pinterest, and so we threw our listings up. Literally, we just we just threw them up and like didn't pin it all, didn't do anything. We started an account and threw them up there. We started before all of this. We had 7 listings. We had 7 bikes. We were at 745 views, 21 watching, and 0 sold. So we posted them up immediately. Like my dad calls me the next day and he's like, "Oh my gosh, have you seen all our views?" I was like, "No," and we were hitting like 100 views on each product, and we were all freaking out. We were like, "There's no way, this is so crazy." And so we kind of stepped in and started really pushing into it. And from the 28th of last month to the 8th of this month, so 10-day span, on 7 listings, we had 4,738 views. We had 83 watching, and we sold 4 bikes. And like it was just astronomical sales. Like we had no idea it would do this good. I mean, within 10 days, we sold 4 bikes. My dad was like, "Oh my gosh, how am I gonna package all this?" Like, I'm in Redding, California. He's in Southern California. He's like, "I got to do all the shipping myself." So he's freaking out about it, and like he's so stoked about it. And then we're following up with our Facebook page. By the way, guys, get on the Facebook page. It's just a great resource for you. You know, we're constantly talking, having communication, just about what's going on and what products we're seeing are best out there. So get on that. But Jose posts up this post about his earnings and what he's done, and so Dean sends it over, and I start reading through it. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. Like this is exactly what we wanted to show you guys, and exactly what I wanted to share with you was, if you use Pinterest, you can grow astronomically. And so we wanted to bring on Jose today to kind of share with you guys what he did and how he took our free, you know, little tiny piece and then exploded it into what he's been doing. So Jose, tell us, how did this happen? How did you get this started?
Well, just from watching your webinar, I went ahead and put some of those things that you mentioned on the webinar and just went to action, right? Straight to work on the Pinterest account. I already had a Pinterest account, but never really used it, right? I'm like, you know what? That's not going to be for our stuff. We can't post it on there. How do you really use it? I knew nothing about it, right? So I knew that you hopped on there and were getting good results, right, with the bikes, increasing your views. I mean, you sold a couple bikes when you mentioned that on the first webinar, so that got the wheel going, right? I'm like, okay, I really need to get on there. We need to start posting our stuff. I told everybody at our place, hey, we need to hop on Pinterest and see what we can do with it, right? So I immediately went in there. I had nothing on there, no boards, no pins, like zero activity, right? So the first thing that I started doing was creating boards, starting liking other people's things that were similar to my niche, right? So to the items that I sell. Started creating boards on that. When I found out that you can get some traffic from Pinterest to eBay, I started doing more things with eBay, right? So I started creating sales, promoting those sales through Promotion Manager, and then started going back into Pinterest. And now I'm pinning those pins directly from eBay over on Pinterest, right? So I immediately started seeing the results, right? Started seeing an increase in traffic, likes on the pins, and it's a beautiful thing about Pinterest. It's that once you pin one pin, it starts going into other pins, right? And it starts repinning, and it starts getting traction with other users that are looking for the same thing, right? So I started seeing the traffic, and since I had a business account, I was able to promote some of the pins. So I immediately started promoting the pins, and I used Keyword Inspector to be able to grab some of the keywords for that specific niche, right?
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's so good.
So this is just like within a couple of days from watching your webinar, I started implementing these things. I think the webinar was on a Thursday, I believe.
Yeah.
The one where you went through the Pinterest with the bikes. So 2 days later, I started putting these Pinterest account into action, started running the ads over the weekend from Friday all the way through Monday, and that's when we saw an increase of $600 in sales over the weekend, when we typically do about $100 a day for that account.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
That's when I shared my results with the Facebook group, right? I started showing you guys my figures and exactly kind of how I went through the steps to be able to get to that spot of the $600 for that weekend. Just after watching your webinar, right? And seeing what you had posted, showing your results of the two bikes, I was able to implement some of those strategies and just implement it into one structure of the business or the campaign that I was using for those items.
Dude, that is amazing. Yeah, before we get into deeper, I want to find out how many people out there are actually using Pinterest as of right now for their business. So we're gonna run a poll. We want to get some feedback from you guys, the listeners, and we want to find out where you guys are at, and you know, if you are using this, we'd love to see that. So yeah, get up there. Okay, so it looks like 50-50 as of right now. Yeah, again, like I wasn't using it at all, before before this, my fiance was using it, and that was, you know, her off time, like when she was just hanging out, that's what she would be doing. And you know, and then she had the idea of like optimizing. Hey, let's throw it up there. Like, let's see if we can optimize this account. Yeah, so it looks like about 60-30. You know, it's you know, yep. There's way more no's than yeses.
Okay.
That's crazy. Yeah. So again, you guys, like, this is super, super important. Like, there's ways, and I mean, some of you, it may just be kind of the intensity of like, oh man, social media scares me. But I mean, both for Jose and I, like, Jose, you had an account. I didn't even have an account. So it was more about let's both of us said, let's see what we can do with this, and ended up optimizing to crazy amounts. Now I want to take a poll on those of you who do have a Pinterest. How many of you are using it for your business? So specifically, not just for your account. Like, if you have an account, that's great. I want to know how many of you guys are using it for your business. I just want to find out what kind of people are we talking to right now? Come on, I love seeing those yeses. It looks like there's way more no's than yeses. That's great, guys. Okay, perfect. So we know there's about 23% that are yes and 77% that are no's. You guys, again, I can't stress how easy this was. Like, I went onto my eBay account. There's a little button, and I pushed it. I just filled in what I liked about it, and, you know, like, hey, you know, vintage Schwinn bikes, they're awesome. Like, I literally made a description, and then threw it out there. I didn't optimize. I didn't do any of that. And Jose, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, and something that I thought was super interesting, and I haven't personally used, was Keyword Inspector. I like, this was something foreign to me. Share with me what that is. How did it optimize your account?
So the Keyword Inspector, I guess it's a new tool that Brett shared with me. That's part of the Brett's Buy network. So I was able to get into that buy to be able to get some slots into the Keyword Inspector, and I also purchased a monthly membership for it. Maybe not the most effective use of it to use it towards Pinterest, because it's kind of a pricey tool, right? Because you only allowed it so many ASNs that you can look up for a specific item. So what I did is just match a product similar to the ones that I was selling on eBay, ran it through Keyword Inspector, and then I was able to pull all those keywords. When you're running the Pinterest ad, you're able to put the keywords that you want to use for people that are going to search for those specific items. So all I did was use the keywords from Keyword Inspector, plug them into Pinterest, and started running the ads for those items, and was able to pull some traffic with those keywords.
Okay.
So it worked out great for that, but like I said, maybe not the most effective use, since it's geared more as an Amazon tool, but I was just able to tweak it a little bit and started using it on Pinterest.
Dude, that's awesome. That's so funny. I didn't even know it was one of Brett's products. I should have known that. But yeah, that's awesome. It's crazy because, like, when I was reading about it, at that point I hadn't optimized. You know, I'd put hashtags in there or whatever.
Okay.
But I hadn't optimized or understood that I could actually put keywords in there that would bring more people to that actual posting. What kind of increases were you seeing? Share some of your numbers in you know, before, and I know you ran a sale this past weekend. Can you share some of that success with us?
So over this past weekend, I ran a sale for a different eBay account. We have 4 eBay accounts that we currently run. So we try to switch it up to a different one to see how it's going to work for that specific niche. Now, this is a fashion jewelry niche, which fits more into Pinterest, just because of the type of followers that are on Pinterest. We notice that it's mostly women, specific age, and they're looking for specific items. So fashion jewelry fits in there. It's just more expensive to run the ads for those specific items, right? For those keywords.
Okay.
So we started doing a lot of organic pins. That means following people that like the similar items, liking their pins, pinning them to our boards. And we definitely started seeing an increase in our viewers. I mean, we had things that would not get viewers on there because of the type of item it is. And I mean, we increased to about 10 viewers on one of the items,
Come
went
on.
from 52 followers to like 168. Uh, when you
Oh my
list
gosh.
something on Pinterest, if somebody repins it, that's what you want, right? Somebody to repin it and
Yeah.
going on other boards, and then the item gets a lot of traction on eBay. So those are just some of the results that we noticed from running Pinterest for that specific niche.
Man, that's awesome. I think that was kind of one of my questions to you was, did you find that like specific niches worked better than others? That's my first question. I'll let you answer that. I have another question as well.
Can you repeat that one more time? You're kind of breaking up. I'm sorry.
No, no worries. Um, I did you find that a specific niche is working better than others?
Uh, we've only been working with fashion jewelry. That's the one that we're going into more intensively, women's fashion jewelry. That one seems to be working great for us, just because of the market that's there, um, the type of customers or the type of pinners that are there. We're able to target more people for those items. Haven't really ventured into other markets, but we're able to break down fashion jewelry into different pins, which gets us different followers, right? So
Okay.
depending on the type of item, we'll be able to pin, let's say that it's a necklace that has bunnies or rabbits on it, right? So we can pin that to a bunny or a rabbit pin, also into fashion jewelry, and also into another pin board about necklaces, right? So having to shoot it into different boards really helps it out and gain some traction because it doesn't stick to one specific niche. We start branding it out to different ones.
Totally. Now, are you running these boards? You talked a little about boards. Are you running these boards or is somebody else doing that?
So for right now, it's me and my wife that are currently running the boards. We hop
That's
on there
awesome.
for 10 minutes every night. I mean, it takes just a few minutes to pin some boards, like a couple things, start some boards, and just consistently running them every day for 5 to 10 minutes once you get started going with it. So
Oh,
not
that's
not
awesome.
not a lot of time investment in it. So
That's great.
yeah.
Have you found that like having better pictures or having a specific pictures helps more, or is it are you seeing more generic things? Like it doesn't matter the picture, it more matters what you're saying inside of it?
We're seeing that the more better the picture or the best the picture is, the more pins it's gonna get. So we're competing with other items that are similar, and we can see that their images are a little bit better than ours, only because they have the complete white background. You know that somebody spent some time in it to make it look like really good. They're getting more pins and more likes, so that's probably going to be another step that we're going to take is to make sure that we optimize our images to be able to get more pins.
That's really good. Yeah, I started to see the same thing on our account. It was great just to post up your eBay listings. Like, it's a good thing, but we started to see a lot more traction when we were posting up like activity pictures. You know, if we were out on the bikes as a family, or
Okay.
me and my fiance. So it's good. It's cool to hear from you. You're sharing the same experience with that. For those of you out there who are just getting started. Um, it's not necessarily that you have to have the best pictures. I mean, both me and Jose can vouch for that. Of like, neither of us had spectacular pictures. It was more we got out there and did it, and people liked what we had, and we've both seen incredible success. Um, yeah, thank you so much for sharing your success, man. That is just it's so encouraging to hear that that something's working in this way. I mean, it's I've put my heart and soul into this, and it's so good to hear that it's working for somebody else just as well as it's worked for me. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's all about taking those first baby steps and just hopping on there, creating some boards, pinning some stuff, liking some other people's items, and just start going from there. Just spend a couple minutes every night. I mean, just before we go to bed, we hop on our laptop, just like a couple pins, and we're getting some good traction. So definitely works out.
That's awesome, man. Sounds like you guys are creating a community.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. So we're seeing that it works best with when you're a niche item, right? So we're not posting other items that are not related just yet. We're trying to stay within the same niche. We also noticed that it might work out better if you have multiple items for the same item. So meaning when you pin something and you send them over to your listing, you want to be able to keep reselling that same item because you've already invested that time for that specific listing. So once we sell that item, we kind of lose traction on it because now we have to start pinning some other listings to try to sell those. So
Man.
if we had multiple items of that same item, it just would work out a lot better. But it's good.
That's awesome. That's really good. That's awesome. Very cool. Well, you guys, we want to give you more content, and one of the things that we're working on is we're going to give you guys a webinar of step-by-step instructions on how to do what we've done, how to get those Pinterest profits, and the link, if we can throw that up there, Dean, is theonlineempireacademy.com/Pinterest. And we're going to have a registration open for 72 hours. We want to stress that this is it. Our goal is to get a smaller group of people because we want to have the most one-on-one time that we can. We want to make sure that we can answer questions and dig into the hard facts and all that stuff, and we really want to be able to give you guys what you want. And we can't do that if it's a huge group. So we have to limit the number of people. So we're either going to do it for 72 hours or we're going to do it until we feel like there's enough people in that group. So you guys. There.
All right, guys, let's see what happened. It looked like it went dead. You went dead,
Oh my
man.
gosh. Oh my gosh. What in the world?
Cool. Let's see if looks like we have Matt. Matt's here.
Matt, the faithful.
I think we're okay now. Let me see what's going on. I think we're all good.
Is everybody still there? Everybody alive? Oh, you guys, I'm so sorry that happened. That's a bummer.
That's funny.
Okay, well, we're back. Yeah, so what I was saying is we will typically sell these webinars for like $97 or $197, but we want to give it to you guys because we just failed so epically for $47. So yeah, you guys, this is again a limited time offer, 72 hours, and it's going to be a limited group. We really want to give this to people who want to be there. So please, 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 if you want to be there, it's going to be $47 to get in. That's it. This is amazing. Dean just posted up the link. Go follow it. Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, I want to just thank you guys for being a part of this community. We're wanting to build something and wanting to create something where you guys feel free to ask questions, and that we're able to answer the questions that you guys have. And for those of you who are live right now, we want to answer those questions, and for those of you who are on the podcast and listening to this later, thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you so much for being a part of our group and choosing to listen to this. Hopefully you take our inspiration and what we've chosen to do with Pinterest and go out and try it. And again, get registered. If you're listening to this, get registered now. It's so important. It's going to be awesome for you guys. So yeah, Jose, take us out, man. What are the top 2 things you could tell us about Pinterest and why we should do it?
Okay, the top 2 things is, the first thing is to go ahead and just get started, right? Hop on there, start your boards, start pinning some items that are related for within your niche. And then the number 2 thing is just consistency. I mean, it takes a couple minutes just to hop on there, pin some stuff, like some people's items, follow some other pinners. So that's the 2 things that I'm bringing. Just get started, implement it, and just that consistency.
That's good, man. That's so good. Well, for those of you who are listening to the podcast, thank you so much for coming. And yeah, Dean, do you have anything else to say?
Yeah. So what we're gonna do now is field some Q&A questions. And the cool thing is, I wouldn't even call it a webinar. It's more of a class. It's more of, I mean, Jose is gonna take time out of his day, which I don't know if you know Jose. The guy does so much stuff, and to have like one-on-one time with him is seriously worth, I would say, like $400 an hour because of all the knowledge that he has. So it's more of a class. We want to keep it as limited as possible and really provide a ton of value when it comes to Pinterest. Take you step by step through the process rather than just kind of the broad stuff that we're talking about now. We do have Q&A right now, so all your questions, it could be about what we talked about, it could be about the class that's upcoming, 72 hours for that class, and or it's going to be when we feel like there's enough people in there as well. How long is the class approximately? It's going to be one class, but it's going to be as long as it takes to get all the information out there. So Jose's going to take time out of his day, as long as it takes to make it worth your time being there, his time being there, step by step, and so on. Cool. Carolyn asks, Mr. Joshua, Carolyn asks, is the webinar class geared towards Pinterest or eBay, or is it Pinterest for eBay, or is it for Amazon sellers as well?
This goes for both ways. Amazon has a Pinterest program as well, which will be bringing you that content. That's something that I'm stepping into and I'm testing out for you guys, and to kind of work through some of the kinks of that. And so we're going to be planning on launching some of that with Amazon here pretty soon. So it will be both Amazon and eBay. So yeah, we'd love to have you there for both programs. It's not just one.
That's awesome. Danny asks, hey, and be careful with this, Jose. I don't know how this works or anything like that. But Jose, can you share your Pinterest boards here?
Yes, I would definitely. I'll load them up to the Facebook group. Just because I don't know how to do it here on Google Hangouts. So I'll post it up on the Facebook group, and I'll show you guys my boards that I've been running.
Cool.
It's good. We'd love to hear you guys' questions. I know there was a bunch up there before we crashed. So for those of you guys who are still listening, we want to answer as many questions as possible. We want to be here. Again, we want to create the community that is free to ask, and we want to be free to answer. So yeah, for those of you who have some more questions, we want to hear them. Um, one of the things that I've been processing through and trying to figure out how I'm going to optimize is uh, living apart from my eBay page. My all the content is down south. I've had to figure out how to optimize my account and my Pinterest account. And one of the things that I've done to continue things going is asking the people on the eBay page, messaging them and asking them for pictures. People who are already using it, I'll message them and be like, hey, we're running a Pinterest page. We want your content up there. Are you allowed? Would you allow us to have some of those pictures? And we just got back 2 amazing pictures. Seriously, so cool. It was a father and a son holding, like the dad's holding his son next to his bike. And that post on Pinterest, it's not that it's like, I mean, we linked it to our eBay page, but it's more about creating that community that you really want to build on Pinterest and want to create. And then the next one was this husband and wife had put their bikes on a wall looking over San Francisco, and it was just so cool because like this is our passion, this is what we love to do. It's bikes have been a hobby for me and my dad forever. And so to see that people are enjoying it was really cool. So just another way to optimize your page is to hop on and to just communicate with your buyers, communicate with the people who've already bought and be like, hey, here's what I'm doing. I'd love your guys' feedback. I love to hear how things are going. Hey, did this break? Did it, are you, just get some feedback going. And I'd say about 70% don't message back, but then the 30 that do have awesome responses. So yeah, make sure you're optimizing that.
Awesome. Carolyn asks, must the pins and likes I make every day be related to the product I'm trying to promote, or can they be general just to show that I'm an active Pinterest user? What do you think, Jose?
We've been following other people's with the same type of items, so we've been sticking to just our specific niche. But like I mentioned earlier, just breaking off a little bit. So with the fashion jewelry, we can also go into other people's pins that are maybe into different type of fashion for clothing or for shoes, but that kind of match the same theme, right? So I go into I go into Pinterest and I'm looking for fashion jewelry with rabbits or bunnies on it. Well, if I find shoes or other clothing that has a similar type of design or that has rabbits and bunnies, then I would pin my item to those boards as well too. So of course I'm not gonna pin it to somebody that's running Hot Wheels or Barbies or something completely different. I'm just trying to keep it within that same specific niche, but still going out a little bit. Yeah.
It's good.
That's awesome. Carl asks, let me turn this into a question. Carl asks, if the product you promote has been sold, how do you remove the pins?
That's something that we've been keeping on there. When the item sells, we're still running that same pin board with those items. Haven't figured out how to remove them, but we just pin more of our items to that board, which pushes the old ones down. So hopefully gaining some traction from those new pins.
Yeah, I've done the same. I typically will keep them, Carl. I'll keep them posted because it's still getting traffic. So if somebody likes that, they may like something else that's in your account. So it's pushing them to your account. So let's say you have 500 different niches within your eBay company, but you're sticking to 5 of those 500 niches. They may go on your account and love the rest of your stuff, but if you remove those pins, you're not going to get the same effect. So you may not get the same traffic. So I just keep them up. It doesn't harm. It doesn't harm to keep them up. And people may ask. You may start finding out what people are really going to like. I know that my fiance will contact companies all the time if she likes a dress or earrings from somebody, and so yeah, just make sure that you are looking for those things.
That's Awesome, man. One really cool thing, it's kind of along the same lines, is uh, the girls, the triple thread girls use Instagram a lot, and I know that they, with their Instagram stuff that they're selling, they will do the exact same thing. They'll actually keep the item up, say it's a dress or whatever, and then they'll use something like Canva or Photoshop or whatever to actually put a big sold out thing, because it provides like a social proof that people are actually buying from triple thread and that there's a demand. And so next time like they click into an Instagram link to a product, they're going to be like, I want to get this before it's sold out. And it's a great marketing tactic.
That's genius. I like that.
Cool. Abby says, Jose, can you talk a little bit more about using keywords in Pinterest?
So yes, I was using Keyword Inspector to pull some of those keywords out for a specific item. So I'll go back into the fashion jewelry. Uh, Most of the items that we sell are brand new, and they're also on Amazon. So I was able to pull the ASIN for that specific item and then plug it into Keyword Inspector and pull the keywords that way. If you don't have Keyword Inspector, you can always backtrack into Amazon to try to find the product there and see what keywords you can pull. Or you can also do a search on Pinterest and see what other people are following with that same type of niche, and then start using some of the keywords that you see, on the other pins. So if I go into fashion jewelry, I put in the specific name brand, and then I can see what other things they're following for that specific name brand, and also pin those items, and then put those keywords into the ads. Hope that makes sense. So go into Pinterest, find similar items. I can see their titles, and then use those keywords.
That's good.
It's awesome, awesome. Cool. And we got a couple people who have joined the class. Awesome, awesome. Like we said before, we're going to close it off when we feel like there's enough people in there that we don't want to get too many people in there where we can't really have it be a nice intimate thing. So congratulations those who got in. Super awesome. Kent says, what does Pinterest cost to set up?
I'll say from the free side, and then Jose, I'll let you let you take that. But like I said, it is completely free to set up an account with them. So all of my sales came from not running any ads. So I just chose to do it organically without the ads because I wanted to test it before we ran any ads. So it's completely free. You can do it completely free, and you can get traffic. But you're not going to get as much traffic as if you did what Jose did. And Jose, you can speak to the numbers side.
So it is free to set up an account with Pinterest. You can also set up a free business account. That way you can track some of the analytics of how many pins you're getting, how many likes, how many followers, if they're going into the listing. That doesn't cost anything. Once you start running the ads, for specific keywords, it does get a little bit pricey, but I'm going to use the example from the last couple weeks that we ran. So for the ad that we ran, we ended up spending about $27 to promote probably about 10 listings, but there was one listing that was just eating up all our clicks. I mean, people were like going to that one item, right? It was a really popular item, and the price of that item was about $300, right? So we didn't end up selling that item, but we did see that there was traffic going into that specific item, and then they were hopping on to some of our other items. We can see the increase in views for other items on eBay and followers, and we started selling other things that are related but not at that price point of $300. So we ended up spending $27 over the weekend, and our return was about over $600 in sales.
Oh my gosh,
So
that's amazing.
so it's a little bit pricey, but it was a good return for us. because we typically would have just seen a couple $100 in sales for that weekend.
Very cool.
Very cool. Very cool. Next question comes from Cedra, and she says, "I sell a popular seasonal item on Amazon, eBay. Would Pinterest work for that item?"
Oh, I got this one. This is a huge niche. Food and cooking and all of that, you will see that all over Pinterest. So I'm actually going to give you, instead of giving you all the information, I want to just give you an action step right off the bat. I want you to go create an account. I want you to set up just some pictures, take some good pictures, take some pictures of you cooking with that. Just post it up there and see how that sells. Because I think that you're going to see some crazy traffic if you're taking pictures of it used in meals. It is a huge niche on Pinterest, is cooking. So go for it. I just want to encourage you, and please join the Facebook group and let us know what you end up seeing, because both me and Jose and Dean want to know what's going on with you guys. We want to know, we've been studying this, we've been working hard to figure this out, and we want to give you as many tips as we can. So my top tip to you would be go out and do it. I think that's a great niche, and if it's already popular, imagine how much more popular it could be.
Love it. Very cool. Caroline says, "Jose, I have access to a keyword inspector. How did you choose an ASIN to run through it? Bestseller in your niche?"
So yes, I went into the bestseller in my niche and just pulled the ASIN from Amazon. So I was able to find the item on Amazon that we currently sell on eBay and just pull the keywords that way.
That's very cool. Love it. Cool. Let's see. We have a couple of chats. Let me make sure see if okay, on Amazon, you don't want, Holly says, and if you guys there is a little thing that you can turn your thing into a question. It makes it easier for me, because then I don't have to read. I'm not very good at reading, so I'm still on the C-spot run. On Amazon, Holly says, on Amazon, you don't want to have a lot of views that don't convert because your ranking goes down, which translates to being seen less. Do you have a strategy to not only drive traffic, but to drive traffic that converts?
Jose, I think you could shed some light on this with running a sale. Yeah.
So I haven't promoted any pins going directly into Amazon, but I know from the eBay side, just like Joshua mentioned, it was a 4-step system that we used to be able to run the ads and make sure that we get sales going into eBay, because it tends to happen the same thing on eBay as Amazon, that if you start getting a lot of traffic into eBay and you don't get any sales, you're going to start dropping in the rankings. So the first thing that we did is created a sale for all the items that we were going to pin. All we did was drop it 10%. So typically we have an item that sells for $100. We dropped it down to $90, and then we also promoted the sale, and then we started running the ads on Pinterest, and we were able to sell some of those items, guaranteeing us sales, so we won't lose that ranking on eBay. We can probably apply those same things to Amazon. It's just going to require some testing to see if we could run a sale on Amazon, make sure that we do get some sales, increase the price or increase to the normal price, and then keep running the pins organically or either paid. That's how I would follow it through on that one.
Awesome.
That's
cool.
Good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, people love, especially on Pinterest, people love sales, and like what we've seen is that the most clicks that we're getting and the most follow-throughs in sales are also associated to communication. So if somebody contacts you and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I really wanted that, that really cute necklace, or that specific rub or whatever," can I still get it? It's just communicate with them. Be like, yeah, if you like this, you'll like this, and we're actually going to run a sale on Thursday. Be looking out for it. Just have communication, especially with the bikes. These are pretty high-end bikes, so we need to communicate why they are the way they are, and why somebody should pay for them. So, like, don't be afraid to run sales. Like Jose was saying, he dropped it 10% and got a ton of sales. Like, don't be afraid to run a sale, because it'll show on your Pinterest page of like sale running, 10% off or whatever, and like, you can even make pictures that say that, and then they're gonna go to your page and see that the price has dropped, and I think it's a great way to also continue to build that community. Is you're going to get more traffic if stuff is on sale.
That's awesome. I would have never even thought of that. That's cool. Cool, guys. Do you have anybody else have any more questions? We're here for questions about anything. Feel free to shoot. We have a good. I mean, we should start ending pretty soon. But if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Congratulations to those who got in. This is awesome. But yeah, any questions at all?
David, I'm glad you're still here.
David's still here. Finally, David.
Come on, David.
Don't leave. Even after we leave, David, don't leave.
Stay strong. And you guys, thank you so much for just the communication on the chat that you guys are talking back and forth. That's awesome. I appreciate that. That's what we want to create. This is a community, and we want you guys there, for sure.
David says, can you post a sample pic of the sale graphic or link to Pinterest sales page sample? Like, things like that we'll probably have in the course, especially for people. I mean, that's like we want to be able to get a lot more detailed and stuff like that. I mean, Jose, you're totally free to do it, but a lot. You have to realize that Jose runs he runs a pretty tight business and is constantly busy. In fact, we were barely able to get him on for this, and so I mean, it's totally up to you, Jose. But yeah, a lot of the detailed stuff will be in the class. So out of respect for Jose's time. Next question. What is the address to the Facebook group? I'll post it real quick. I think the group is posted. Anyone who wants to join that, is totally free to join. I've actually been letting people in. A lot of people have been asking. Ooh, this is a good question. Will this also be relevant with Etsy or Zazzle?
If you have an Etsy account, you're already ahead of the game, because you're pulling from a lot of the same streams. I see so many posts from people from Etsy, and a lot of people just posting stuff that they see on Etsy. And again, my fiance will hop on Etsy or hop on Pinterest and follow a link, and it will be on Etsy. So it definitely applies. All you have to do, I don't know if Etsy has a specific button. I'm pretty sure they do. But even if they don't, take the picture that you have on your Etsy, and then post it onto your Pinterest page, and then just have a link to your Etsy account. As for Zazzle, I probably should know this, but I don't even know what a Zazzle is. Sounds cool.
Zazzle's actually cool. I have some things on Zazzle, but basically it's kind of like a print-on-demand for T-shirts, for mugs, you can put your own design onto mugs and mouse pads and things like that. And what happens is someone orders it, Zazzle sends it off, and then they give you like a little commission. That you decide on what the commission is, which is I would imagine it'd be able to work with Zazzle. I've never tried it though.
I mean, it's kind of all the same principle. You can take a picture and you can post it in, and you can link it. Every post you have the option to link in. So yeah, and if you guys want to know, if some of you are asking the question, how do I do this? Go back and listen to our webinar about Pinterest. I know it's on our Facebook group on the post that Jose had posted up, because that's gold.
Yeah, and that replay doesn't work quite well, so I'm gonna be putting I'm gonna be putting a link. Give me like a day or so. If you go to theonlineempireacademy.com and you go to the very top and you go to My Products, there'll be a link for the Pinterest replay. Right now it's not working because I messed something up. I'm sorry, guys. But I will have that fixed as soon as I figure out how to fix it by tomorrow. Cool. Let's see what else. Ken says, signed up. Did you say when the class will begin? You want to answer that, Joshua?
Yeah. So what we're trying to figure out is we're trying to get, like I said, we're going to need to run some Amazon stuff because neither of us have done that yet. So we're wanting to run Amazon. We're wanting to get the best information and also figure out a time. Like Dean was saying, Jose's a super busy dude. We're both super busy. So we want to figure out a time where we can actually sit down and give you guys a large amount of time to really pour into your guys' account and answer all the questions as best as possible. So we're trying to figure out a time and also get the best content for you guys. So it will be here soon. We haven't set the physical date, but there will definitely be information coming and updates coming for you guys.
Yep. We'll shoot out an email within the next few days giving the time for that. But yeah, like we said, it's just going to be a long period of time, so we can make it as step-by-step as possible. Cool. Awesome. See if there's any more questions. Okay, guys, we have about 2 minutes left, and we're going to take off. Yeah, awesome, guys. Good job. Good job getting this. This is gonna be really cool. And Jose, Jose, like if you don't know Jose, like he takes things and like blows them up into like crazy stuff. Like he took the coupon engineering course that we have, and I think you have like an army of like 5,000 people that go out and do your couponing now or something.
Yeah, that's how I met you guys, Online Empire Academy. It started with the coupons, and just implemented that. We're still running that same business model, so we can't wait to start using Pinterest and coupons and putting it all together. It's gonna be awesome.
So cool, man. I love it. I love it. Machine. Cool. All right, guys. Let's see. Last check for questions. Doesn't look like we have any more questions, Josh. So feel free to take it away.
Yeah. You guys, thank you for being a part of this and for listening to us and for asking great questions. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Kent. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, David. Thank you guys just for being here and being a part of this community. Again, please go join the Facebook group. We're gonna be posting up on there and sharing our success and sharing what's new and going on. And yeah, be active. We want to hear from you guys. Yeah, enjoy Pinterest. Go dive into it, and we'll give you the way more in-depth course pretty soon here. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. Have a great one.